Hey folks, Simon here, and in our last episode of Final Fantasy VII, we made our way over to Bone Village in order to get the really nice Kjata summon. If you haven't seen that, I advise you check it out, because you can get it really early, as soon as you've got access to the tiny Bronco. Even before the Temple of the Ancients and all of that good stuff. The same as what we're doing today. We're heading back to Bone Village. Now, we can't do any digging here, which is like the main mini-game for this particular area. What we're going to do instead is just take a bit of a detour to the shop. And that's because there's two items of note here. Right at the top, we can purchase the Diamond Bangle, which, as you can see, is an armour that has insane stats, especially at this stage of the game. Bone Village, incidentally, isn't an area you're supposed to come to until much later on Disc 1. So, making these detours here at this stage is really worth it, in my opinion. But also the Rune Armlet. Now, you might be thinking, well, that seems to be a bit of a downgrade compared to the gold armlets we've been collecting recently. And yes, in stats it is, but I'm going to recommend you buy some anyway. I'm going to purchase two. I'm also going to purchase a Diamond Bangle. Now, one of the things you'll notice about the Diamond Bangle is the fact that it has really nice stats, and it also has an extra materia slot. It's got 5 instead of the usual 4. So those gold armlets we were collecting before, they were very good, but they're not as good as the Diamond Bangle. So what I generally am going to advise is that you stick a Diamond Bangle on one of your party members, and that's so they have access to the double materia slots where you can link them with all materia or whatever the case may be, for restore for example. And then for the other two party members, you're going to want to equip those Rune Armlets, and that's because of the double materia growth. Now sadly, the downside, aside from the fact that they have slightly lower stats than the gold armlets, is the fact that the materia slots themselves aren't linked. But that's not a huge deal, to tell you the truth, because if you go ahead and stick restore all materia into, say, the Diamond Bangle, then for the vast majority of encounters you don't need link slots. And that's important to note, because if you've been following along with my guide, then chances are you're also using the double materia weapons growth things as well. So you're going to have very few linked materia slots, but that's absolutely fine. As I say, it's far more important at this stage of the game to just be collecting as much AP as possible. And you might even want to go ahead and remove the Diamond Bangle and equip another Rune Armlet for your third party member as well. But like I say, for me, just having one option where we can link materias is particularly useful, but it's not absolutely required by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, once you've got those set up, you'll be able to farm for a ton of stuff in your materias in terms of AP and whatnot, and make sure you're leveling up your all materia. That is really, really important, especially for an upcoming episode where we're going to be selling that for the Guild. That's going to be really, really useful as well. Okay then folks, well I'll leave it there for the time being, so thanks for stopping by, checking out the video, and I'll see you soon as we continue on with Final Fantasy VII. Goodbye.